Can you believe this? An electric vehicle startup that once sold China's most expensive EVs, with an average unit price exceeding $100,000, a company that vowed to rival Porsche and outmatch Tesla, ended up just a few years later relying on its executives selling sausages and steaks in a live stream just to pay employee salaries? It was hailed as the car from the future. Its doors opened like Transformers. Its headlights could project movies. This is Hi-Fi. From being the ceiling of Chinese luxury cars to suspending all production, what exactly did Hi-Fi get wrong? Was their ambition simply too big? Or was this a business experiment destined to fail from the very start? Today, we are deconstructing the collapse of Hi-Fi. Let's rewind to 2017. It was an era when new EV startups were surging, and major players like NIO and XPeng were still fighting for survival. Enter Ding Lei, an automotive industry veteran and former general manager of SAICGM, who charged into the battlefield with Human Horizons, Hi-Fi's parent company. What specific pain point was Hi-Fi trying to solve? Simply put, it was the price ceiling that Chinese automotive brands could never seem to break. Ding Lei's strategy was aggressive. He didn't care about making affordable family cars. He wanted to cut directly into the ultra-luxury market. His logic was simple. Stack the most dazzling technology available to create tech luxury. At first, this logic seemed to work. In 2021 and 2022, sales of the Hi-Fi X in the luxury EV market actually surpassed the Porsche Taycan for a time. Although it was only a few hundred units a month, for a Chinese brand, this was a massive psychological victory. Back then, Hi-Fi held a ticket to the high-end club, seeming poised to dominate if they ever decided to lower their prices. But this was just the calm before the storm. Why did Hi-Fi fall so hard? It wasn't one single mistake, but 4 fatal fractures buried deep within their business model. First, a misalignment in product definition. Is it a car or a giant toy? Hi-Fi's proudest features were its suicide doors, gull-wing doors, and programmable headlights. Are these cool? Absolutely. But for true luxury car buyers, are these core needs? No, they are social currency. Once the novelty wore off, users realized the car's smart features and autonomous driving capabilities weren't significantly better than cars half the price. Those complex mechanical structures turned from assets into reliability liabilities. Hi-Fi mistook showing off technology for a moat, ignoring the essential nature of a car as a tool for transportation. Second, the trap of the high-profile business model. Hi-Fi wanted to follow Tesla's path, start high, then go low. But the problem is, Tesla stayed in the high price bracket for a very short time before rapidly moving down to build scale. Hi-Fi stayed in the $80,000 to $100,000 range for too long. By the time they finally tried to drive volume with the cheaper Hi-Fi Y, the market had changed. Competitors like NIO and Zeekr had already flooded that price point. Hi-Fi had no economy of scale, meaning supply chain costs couldn't come down. They were losing money on every car sold, and the more they sold, the more they lost. Third, self-indulgent marketing. Hi-Fi always emphasized that their cars were works of art, not commodities. Their marketing relied heavily on word of mouth within niche circles, failing to build brand awareness among the general public. If you asked a random person, who is Hi-Fi? Many would assume it was an off-brand knockoff. In an era where traffic is king, Hi-Fi lacked a celebrity founder and lacked massive internet traffic. It was like a lonely aristocrat, being elegant in a corner until it starved. Fourth, and most fatal, the fragility of the cash chain. Hi-Fi didn't want to rely overly on external financing. That sounds noble, but in the car manufacturing industry, a notorious cash-devouring beast. Operating without billions in cash reserves is like running naked. Compared to competitors sitting on massive cash piles, Hi-Fi's pool was too shallow. The moment sales missed expectations, their cash flow evaporated instantly. The collapse came faster than anyone imagined. Just after the Lunar New Year in 2024, Hi-Fi suddenly announced a 6-month suspension of work and production. This news hit like a bombshell. Immediately following this, a series of bizarre maneuvers began to detonate public opinion, showing us the company's final struggle and absurdity. Collapse Node 1. The brutal reality of the internal memo. Base salaries only. Social security payments stopped. Employees were even advised to find their own way out. The company that once opened experience stores in the most expensive city districts couldn't even pay its server bills. The car owners app briefly lost connection to their vehicles. Collapse Node 2. The heartbreaking live stream sales. This was Hi-Fi's most viral, yet most sorrowful moment. Yang Yueqing, Hi-Fi's engineering project director, didn't appear on a racetrack testing vehicles. He appeared in a live stream room. Behind him were crude handwritten posters. In his hands were steaks, sausages, and even milk tea. He was selling groceries. He said, "All revenue will go towards guaranteeing after-sales service." An automotive executive forcing himself to become a salesman just to earn a few dollars in commission to keep the company alive. This scene moved many people, but it also thoroughly exposed Hi-Fi's desperation. It had lost the ability to generate blood. It had to resort to this near-begging method just to keep breathing. This wasn't just a break in the capital chain. It was a collapse of commercial dignity. The story of Hi-Fi is still lost in the fog of restructuring. Perhaps it will be acquired and resurrected, or perhaps it will disappear completely. But for all entrepreneurs, Hi-Fi leaves behind 3 bloody lessons. First, avoid product managers' self-indulgence. When building a product, don't just move yourself. If the pain point you solve is just "it's not cool enough," rather than "it's not useful enough," your market is destined to be narrow. Innovation must serve function, not vanity. Second, respect the gravity of business cycles. Do not attempt to maintain high premiums long-term without the support of scale. In this hyper-competitive era, you either need an absolute technical barrier or extreme cost control. If you have neither, you must secure your cash flow immediately. Third, survival is more important than elegance. Hi-Fi remained dignified until the very end, when it was forced to awkwardly sell stakes. If they had lowered their status 2 years earlier, launched affordable models sooner, or financed more aggressively, perhaps the ending would be different. The business world doesn't believe in tiers, and it doesn't believe in aristocrats. It only believes in those who survive to the end. I'm Joes, and I'll see you in the next one.